From the NMSU Department of Journalism and Media Studies in collaboration with KRWG, this is the student-produced News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Raven Villarreal.
And I'm Jenny Hazlett. A U.S. citizen is in the custody of Customs and Border Protection after authorities say he tried to bring drugs across the border on a bicycle.
They stopped him yesterday afternoon at the Paso del Norte bridge coming from Mexico. Authorities noticed abnormalities with a bike and found bundles of fentanyl and methamphetamine hidden in the frame. The 32-year-old U.S. citizen was arrested by Homeland Security and will face charges of importation of a controlled substance. According to the Los Cruces Bulletin, the East State of Chaparral man is suing Doña Ana County for wrongful death.
Sheriff Deputy Corey Ruiz shot Jose Guzman a year ago after a trespassing incident. Guzman had an outstanding warrant for his arrest. When the officer tried to arrest him, Guzman resisted and got a hold of the officer's taser. After asking him to drop the taser, the deputy shot Guzman several times from behind, killing him. The plaintiff claims that Guzman was vulnerable with well-known cognitive challenges. They also claimed the confrontation was unnecessary and preventable. Now, New Mexico law enforcement need your help in finding two missing people.
First, the Sandoval County Sheriff's Department is looking for 78-year-old William Fogel. He's 5'8" with white hair and brown eyes. Last seen in the Albuquerque area driving a dark gray Toyota Tacoma with a white camper shell. Also, the San Juan County Sheriff is looking for 29-year-old Cameron Nabayakewa. He was last seen on Tuesday at the Hogback Speedway gas station. He's 5'8", 150 pounds with black hair. He was wearing a brown hat and a green hoodie. If you have information, call the respective sheriff's department or call 911.
Now, guys, it was really warm out today.
I absolutely agree. Tristan is next with a first look at weather.
So we had some record-breaking temps out, but first, let's take a gander outside. Now, for all you folks out there walking your pets, it's going to still be a little warm, so remember to stay hydrated and, well, make sure you and your fur baby stay hydrated. Now, let's take a look at our current conditions. Now, our skies today were clear and sunny. Temperature was about 90 with northern winds 7 miles an hour, humidity 5%, dew point 10.6, and the barometer reads 29.93. Now, we had a record high of 91. Beating out our last year's record. Anyway, I'll get to that. The average of 83 and a low of 49. Now, when I talked about that record high, 2014, it was 87.9, beat that record. But the record low has yet to be beat of 38 degrees in 2024. Precipitation 0, and the yearly precipitation is 0.05. Back to the desk.
Stay tuned. Tristan will be back with your national forecast.
But first, we'll learn about some unique instruments you'll find in mariachi. More on that when News 22 continues.
It's 50 years of Austin City Limits with Juanes.
Saturday at 9 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
On Cool the Midwife.
I know times are hard, but this can't go on.
Without their vow, you could not carry out essential work.
I've been nursing sisters for over 100 years. I can't quite believe that we aren't wanted anymore.
Sunday at 7 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
As the most thrilling male ballet dancer of his time and as choreographer, Rudolf Nureyev was a sensation.
Et vous, qui admiriez-vous le plus?
Moi? In scenes from his extraordinary production of Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake, behold the magic of Nureyev on Great Performances.
Friday at 9 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Thursday,
where news matters. Now, Mexican culture infuses every part of our lives here in the borderland. It even touches the all-American sport of football.
During Aggie games, you'll hear the most Mexican music of all, mariachi. Even though football season is over, the group is still practicing. News 22's Anaí Tejas has the story.
There you go. Stop.
La Negra, a traditional Mexican song, can be heard and recognized from all parts of the world. Mariachi bands originated in Mexico and started to reach new audiences over the years. Many different instruments make up mariachi. Some you may recognize and others you may not. Daniela Robinson is the only guitarrón player in the NMSU mariachi and shows how much of a difference it can make to a song.
I play the guitarrón, which is the bass for mariachi. It's a mariachi-specific instrument, and it's basically the heartbeat of mariachi, and it's not used in any other music genre.
Instruments like a trumpet also play a big part in mariachi, and trumpets are a relatively new addition to the mariachi sound.
In the 30s, we had Miguel Martinez come into Mariachi Vargas, and he started with a single trumpet, and it made it so popular for the genre that it became a staple. It became one of those things that's like, hey, mariachi trumpets is one of the first things you start thinking about.
With the diversity of instruments, clothing, and songs, mariachi is something people love to hear and love to play. The majority of students give up mariachi when they get to college, but here at NMSU, they can still pursue their passion.
And here it's more like we perform for the people, which is what mariachi is for, so I feel more comfortable here than I was in high school.
Being in this group in college lets them play their favorite tunes, and for Daniela, she gets to sing her favorite Hispanic songs. While also feeling more involved in the university.
Doing mariachi in college was completely different for me because all throughout high school, I ran my own group. I was never in a high school mariachi, so it feels really good to be part of like school pride.
You can see them in the fall during football games, performing during halftime, and singing to fans in the stands. Anaí Telles, News 22.
Now, I bet with that warmer weather, a lot more people are going to be going to pools and things like that.
I agree. I think it's pretty interesting that it's been really cold and then suddenly really hot. Tristan, what can you tell us about the weather?
Let's talk about the Nat weather. All right, so what we're looking at right now is for my Giants in San Francisco, it's a good 64 degrees. For the family in El Paso, although this map doesn't show it, it is a spicy 92 degrees. In the windy city of Chicago, it is 43 degrees. And if we go all the way over there, although we can't really see it, my shipmates in Norfolk, Virginia are experiencing a cool 65 degrees. Fair seas, folks. Now, we did talk about it getting warmer, so let's look at my next map. Now, as you can see, this big splotch here is how hot it's getting in the southwest and some parts of the west coast. We really got to talk about Las Vegas. First of all, 92 degrees. Stay hydrated, folks, while you're gambling. In Phoenix, Arizona, one of the hottest cities in the States, it is a spicy 98 degrees. And, of course, in Del Rio, Texas, it is 97 degrees. Remember, folks, stay hydrated, stay safe. And on to my next map. So we're going to talk about wind speeds here. Over in North Dakota, we have over here, a 33. In South Dakota, we have 32. And over in Kansas, in southern Kansas, it is a wind speed of about 30. And that is all for your national weather forecast. Catch y'all after the break.
What did Antiques Roadshow discover in Alabama? That Birmingham is a hotbed of art and antiques.
Mercy. My goodness, I love this show.
Don't miss a minute from Birmingham, Alabama next time on Antiques Roadshow.
Monday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow from the Maryland Zoo. The treasures are surprising, but the reactions are priceless.
I'm speechless.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Watch Antiques Roadshow next time from the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore.
Monday at 7 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
On Masterpiece.
A son! She will never know the queen.
You're going to bring them down, the richest families in the land.
Gardner, your old enemy back from France.
Wolf Hall, The Mirror and the Light. On Masterpiece.
Sunday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
Welcome back. Let's talk about our local temps. Now, today in Farmington, it was about 79. In Clovis, 76. In Roswell, let me get out of the way over here because it was 85. In Ruidoso, 77. Socorro, 85. In Albuquerque, 84. Gallup was 77. Santa Fe was 74. Las Cruces cooled down a little bit by 89, and in Deming it was 89. Now let's look at tomorrow's weather. So in Farmington it's going to be 83. In Clovis it's going to be 81. Rossville is going to heat up to an 86. Ruidoso is going to stay at about 77. Socorro is going to be warm, 90 degrees. Albuquerque is going to be 86. Gallup's going to be 81. Las Cruces is going to warm back up to 90, and Deming is going to be a spicy 92. And that is all for your... Oh, and we've got to talk about this too. Alamogordo is going to be 56 tonight, nice and clear. Go out, enjoy a walk. Tomorrow it's going to warm back up to 88. And in T or C it's going to be a nice clear 53. Tomorrow it'll be warm back up to 91. In my favorite town of Silver City, it's going to be 48 and clear, but tomorrow it's going to be a partly sunny 84. And finally, in the city of Cruces, it's going to be 54 and clear. And tomorrow it's going to warm back up to 90, so put on some sunscreen. And back to the desk.
Now, I'm feeling some Texas chili. Austin, do you know where we can get some of that?
Yeah, I heard Scotty Scheffler make some nice Texas chili. So you can toss that remote because News22 Sports is next.
My youngest daughter, the apple of my eye.
Caught in the middle of a fascist march.
Enough is enough!
You just followed me to the depths of hell.
An anti-fascist fights.
You taught me a Jew protects life. They're coming for us, Daddy. I did what needed to be done.
I know what you are.
You don't know anything about me.
Ridley Road on Masterpiece.
Sunday at 10 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
My queen, I will make the necklace yours. You're about to pull off a crime of the century.
A royal portrait must transmit authority.
It's perfect.
Take it down, now.
I hear you're off on your own adventure. How lovely to be away from Versailles for a while.
You should come.
By the time you return, I will have regained my image as your beloved queen.
Someone has pretended to be the queen. You've been deceived.
Sunday at 9 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
For the win! He got it! Welcome back. I'm Austin Jaramillo, and let's talk sports. This weekend, the New Mexico State Aggies will be taking on the Florida International Panthers in Florida. NMSU is coming off a loss against Arizona and looks to bounce back against the 20-12 FIU Panthers. The two teams have not faced off this season, but FIU is 6-2 in their last 8 meetings. The last time they played was April 21st, 2024, where the Aggies lost 18-6. The Aggies will take on FIU as their last series until returning home to play against UNM on Tuesday. The El Paso Chihuahuas have their bark back at Cancer Night this evening. First pitch was at 6:35. They are playing against the Las Vegas Aviators, who are 8-3 and ahead of the Pacific Coast League West standings. The Chihuahuas are currently 4-7 and are tied with the Albuquerque Isotopes. The Chihuahuas have an eventful weekend where they have Fetch the Fun Friday, Peanuts' 75th anniversary on Saturday, and Kids Sunday. Following their series against the Aviators, they will be visiting the Isotopes for a 5-game standoff starting on Tuesday. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action next week. Now, still ahead on News 22, Tristan will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast.
My name is Jonathan Phillips. Join me on the journey of a lifetime as I explore one of history's greatest questions. How did the Christian faith move from its darkest early days to the moment when Constantine, master of the mighty Roman Empire, went on to be baptized himself? Come with me as I travel thousands of miles on the road from Christ to Constantine.
Sunday at 3:30 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
That is utterly remarkable. Whales coming up! Hold on.
This is huge.
Here we go! The more whales you have, the healthier the ocean is.
They're the biggest land animals that have ever existed.
The most special thing is going somewhere that nobody ever has before. It's perfect.
Let's take a look at our top stories.
A man was arrested at the border for smuggling fentanyl and meth in his bicycle. The 32-year-old faces importation of a controlled substance charge. Students across the country have had their visas revoked, including 10 at UTEP and 6 here at NMSU. NMSU says there's no known connection between revoked visas and involvement in Palestinian protests. And we went to a practice of the NMSU Mariachi Band, one of the few colleges mariachi bands in the whole country have.
Right, let's take a look at our 5-day. So Friday is going to be a sunny 90, and then it's going to cool down to a low of 56. Saturday is going to warm up to 92, the cold low of 55. Sunday is going to be mostly sunny at 89, 58. Monday is going to be cloudy, high of 84, low of 56. And Tuesday will warm back up. Well, it will get sunny, and it'll be 83 with a low of 55.
Thanks, Tristan. And that's all for News 22 Thursday. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight.
Tune in next week for more news, but don't go anywhere yet because Carmina Conde will be right back with Noticias 22. I'm Jenny Hazlett.
And I'm Raven Villarreal. And from the whole News 22 team, Tristan, Austin, Jenny, and myself, good night.
This news brief en español is brought to you by Noticias 22, la información más completa de Nuevo México, El Paso y la frontera. Noticias 22.
Buenas tardes, les saluda Carmina Conde y estas son las breves de hoy con Noticias 22. En Chaparral, el patrimonio de un hombre hizo una demanda hacia el comisionado del condado de Doña Ana tras estar involucrado en un homicidio que involucra a un oficial. El año pasado, el ayudante del sheriff del condado de Doña Ana, Cory Ruiz, disparó a José Guzmán después de que estuviera involucrado en un posible incidente de allanamiento cuando Ruiz lo detuvo y se dio cuenta de que Guzmán tenía una orden de arresto pendiente por delito menor. Según la denuncia, Ruiz trató de detener a Guzmán a pesar de saber que él tenía capacidades cognitivas limitadas y mostró signos de enfermedad mental durante el encuentro. Cuando Ruiz intentó detener a Guzmán, esto huyó. Ruiz siguió a Guzmán, intentó detenerlo por segunda vez, le puso una pistola eléctrica y disparó, a lo cual Ruiz roció a Guzmán con gas pimienta, perdiendo el control. Guzmán tomó el control y apuntó varias veces hacia la gente. La denuncia dice que Ruiz disparó a Guzmán desde atrás varias veces. Oficiales de la frontera detuvieron a un narcotraficante que intentaba cruzar drogas en una bicicleta durante el día de ayer. El sujeto de 32 años es de nacionalidad estadounidense y las autoridades aún no han revelado su identidad. De acuerdo a las autoridades, este fue detenido al intentar cruzar fentanilo y metanfetamina en el cruce internacional Paso del Norte en El Paso tras una inspección secundaria. Las drogas estaban ocultas en una bicicleta cuando el detenido cruzaba por México. El sujeto fue entregado a los agentes especiales de seguridad nacional para su procesamiento y se enfrentará a cargos de importación de sustancia controlada. Y esto ha sido todo por hoy. Recuerden seguirnos en nuestras redes sociales. Bonita noche.